The Play Overwatch Twitch channel just released the biggest Overwatch 2 news drop of the year, and it's gonna disappoint a lot of you. The endlessly replayable PvE experience that they have talked about so many different times seems to be fully scrapped. Aaron Keller and Jared Ness came onto the live stream apologetic, saying that the PvP experience that they have been dedicating more time to takes up too much time, it seems, so much so that the scale of the PvE they originally envisioned is gone completely. However, in saying that, we do see the new seasonal roadmap to know what we are actually getting. Instead, the PvE is going to be split up into story missions, where Season 6, which is 2 seasons away, mind you, we will finally be getting our first version of that. If you remember, way back when with the Kotaku leaks, the PvE for Overwatch 2 was rumored to be like Left 4 Dead gameplay. Then, over BlizzCon and BlizzCon Line, they explained that there's going to be endlessly replayable missions, which would require them to have RPG systems that it seems like they're not going to be able to execute on. In a way, this is a downside, but it might be much more reasonable to expect that, because how do you have an RPG game with Overwatch heroes feel replayable without gear? Because you want your heroes to have their unique playstyles. I always felt there was a bit of a tension between those ideas. So while this seems disappointing, this product sounds like it could be good, whereas the other one, we haven't played a good version of it. In fact, when myself and many other creators got the chance to play the Overwatch 2 PvE originally many years ago, I think it was 2019, we were like, okay, but picking up different types of grenades and whatnot, it just wasn't it. Whereas with these story missions, they can actually allow you to experience an actual story, and it can go back to the fundamentals similar to Left 4 Dead. There's not necessarily big RPG mechanics there, and it's still somewhat replayable. Potentially very replayable if you want to go for high scores and stuff. What Jared did say, they do have very cool enemy types and hero talents, but it's just not going to be that endlessly replayable game. Instead, the modes are going to be co-op in nature, which gives them the opportunity to produce missions more often with more variety. Okay, so that's the big major bombshell. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of the roadmap. Despite that bad news, there's a lot of good news for PvP players, because that's the thing they feel like they know how to do and are giving us much more of. In Season 5, we're going to be getting a 5v5 mini-comp season. I assume that means Team Q, as in like full 5-man teams, because we already have 5v5, right, with random players. The On Fire system's returning, and there's going to be a creator workshop mode, which I assume is a featured creator workshop mode. Summer Games, a cinematic, and it seems like the theme is mischief and magic. So similar to Star Watch, Season 5 will be a fantasy setting, and now we get Quest Watch, which I'm not too excited for, since Star Watch was quite a disappointment for me, and it seems like my worry about that mode and the underdevelopment of PvE mechanics is kind of shaping up. I love a fantasy setting, and the setting and lore and characters, voice lines, all of that, skins, was great for Star Watch, but I sure hope Quest Watch is more interesting than just a repurposed map for a mode that was so bad they had to remove it. Jared said that Season 6 is their biggest release ever for Overwatch 2. There's a new support hero, again, the co-op mission, story missions, but also hero mastery missions, which will test your skills on a given hero, especially optimizing for things like aim. You'll be able to get high scores in this, and what I imagine is something like Doomfist parkour, but to the extreme level for different characters. You know how that was kind of specialized for him as a workshop mode? Well, I think it's pretty reasonable to say that they could make a more advanced version of that that really highlights different heroes' powers. Flashpoint is also a new game mode. I'm curious to know if they're going to remove one of them from competitive rotation. Does push get rotated out in Season 6? I don't know. They also didn't explain what Flashpoint is, but it sounds like, well, Flash is quick and point is a capture point, obviously. My best guess would be it would be something like Hardpoint from Call of Duty, which I actually think would be an amazing Overwatch mode, as long as the spawn system isn't too bad. Season 6, there's also firing range updates, I guess, whatever that means, player progression system, the Overwatch anniversary, and more. On to Season 7 and beyond. I believe Jared actually said the new tank hero would be Season 8, because there's always a break season between. So that's coming down the line. There's a new collaboration event, a limited time mode. Is that Dragon Ball Z or another anime? Seems likely. New control map, new winter event, new hero mastery missions, but these will be multiplayer in nature, which maybe some particular duos might be able to do those. That sounds actually kind of interesting too. A Roadhog rework, fan favorite modes return. Oh boy, we get a Assault only playlist, guys. I mean, what else could it be for a fan favorite mode to return? Or do they mean the seasonal modes, such as the ones in the winter event? Unsure what they mean by that, but it would be very funny if the returning mode is one that they actually removed in the sequel, similar to Star Watch. Cinematic debuts, competitive mystery heroes will return, a lore codex, and a Sombra rework. Guys, that's everything for the upcoming roadmap for multiple months in a row. We know what the Overwatch 2 pipeline is going to look like. Are you disappointed that PvE is utterly revamped? Or does this seem like a more approachable game that might be playable as opposed to a big letdown? Frankly, I wish that they would have emphasized more their recommitment to Blizzard polish. They weren't happy with the rate of development or where it was ending up, and we used to have the term Blizzard soon, because they used to take as long as they ever wanted to make the next thing, and if it wasn't working out, they would go back to the drawing board and do it again. This is like the best compromise that you probably could see for them to try to make something they're proud of, but isn't too big in scope and scale. This seems like the mark of the second big reset, because there was one big reset when Jeff left. They tried to go another direction, ran out of gas again, and then decided to shorten the scope of it. While everyone's melancholic about this, I think this is better than releasing something that doesn't shine with the Blizzard polish that I want to expect from the games they make. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave it a like, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to actually get notified when our new videos come out. That's been it for me. I've been Frito for your Overwatch. I'll see you guys next time.